First and foremost is a lot of people have implemented ERP systems. Those who have implemented and are in the process of stabilizing, they are saying, how can I use BI as a layer on top of my ERP, right? And there are multiple factors for that. Core ERP licenses are pretty expensive to buy. So what they're saying is that I need to get data out of my ERP. I want to give it to more and more people within my organization. So what do I do? So BI kind of sits on top of that as a layer, right? A lot of ERP systems have a lot of package analytics as well as, some BI component pre-packaged along with the BI solution. So many CIOs I've heard have said, I don't want to look at a third-party software right now. Let me go and implement what I already have, right? So that was the first trend which we saw. The second trend is those clients who, are slightly more further in terms of maturity and have already, deployed and they have a fairly decent amount of adoption within the organization. They are saying, can I roll it out to more and more people? Can I make it more pervasive? Are there business users and normal casual users? Is there a difference in the style of BI they would like to see? So, for example, most of the senior management would like to look at dashboards, right? Maybe line managers will look at some kind of scorecarding applications or maybe ad hoc querying. Other people, on the operational level, they're mostly looking for, just casual reporting. So is there a way to segment the, adoption based on the capabilities of the BI tool? That's the second trend we saw. Third is as always, there's always a further down the maturity. Some companies are always further down the maturity. They are the early adopters. They like to take, they like to use technology as a strategic differentiator, right? And so they are doing two things. One, they're looking at the emerging capabilities which are there in the BI tool. So they're doing advanced analytics, predictive modeling, search-based BI. Some of them you were talking about, mobile BI. Can I, can I get my BI in a consumption model? So they're not doing querying. So they're just consuming BI in an iPad, for example, or through smartphones. So I see some of those kind of things. And many organizations started implementing the CPM side of BI, which is corporate performance management. How can I go and deploy BI within the office of the finance, office of the CFO, which would be planning for budgeting, right? Consolidation. Those who have very good strategy planning departments within the organization, they're talking about, profitability forecasting. Right. So these are some of the trends which we observed last year, or continue to see in 2010, and we'll continue to see in 2011. The early adopters have always been the usual suspects. Most regulated industry is very hyper competitive in terms of consumers. So telco, banking, insurance, they tend to be the very early adopters here. I think the next level of growth is going to come from manufacturing, and the reason I say it because you look at the auto industry, for example. The auto industry is growing at leaps and bounds, and they are the ones who are making the newer set of investments in ERP systems. So as a result, when those ERP investments are, most ERP investments are, adopted by the organizations or budgeted by the organizations, you'll find that at a later time, large part of those investments will come into BI also. What is BI's impact on decision making? Overall decision making, that's one. The second thing I'm talking about is what is the, where is the disconnect with, business IT of value? Why is IT still being perceived as the butler or the cost center which will always remain there, right? So talking about the business value of IT, that's the second thing I'm talking about. The third thing I'm talking about is pretty interesting is before actually CIO goes and starts doing this plumbing for BI for the organization, how can he use it for internal IT operations management? Okay, so how can he himself, because the CIO is the CEO of the IT operations. So as the CEO of the IT operations, what kind of dashboards, metrics can he actually build which can go further along in articulating that business value of IT? BI since 2006 was the number one till about 2009, the first number of priority. Incidentally, it fell to fifth point in terms of priority last year, in 2010 actually. But in India, it continues to remain as the number one, right? So my gut feel is that it continue to be a very good it'll give a very good run to other technologies in terms of adoption. There is no doubt, the growth numbers are fantastic. We're just doing the forecast is very good. And people are making a lot of investments. I think it's beyond that stage where people understand, that BIS can have a very competitive differentiator or a competitive advantage for the company. So I think that recognition is definitely there. When you look at adoption, right, what have been the challenges for some of these companies? Part of it has been slightly more on the technology side, right? That these tools historically are fairly cumbersome to use. They have had, poor querying performance, or they have had, lack of self-service, or not having very good visualization layer, right? Some of those things are kind of getting solved with some of these new technologies which are coming, search-based BI or in-memory appliances. So, the technology side is kind of taken care now, right? And so adoption will get better because of these self-service kind of capabilities which are getting added in a lot of the tools. That's one. The second thing which I see is, what you will see is that there will be a lot more focus on analytics. So clients who had done very decent historical analysis, lab style of historical analysis, they're saying, what more can I do with this? And you will find that they will gravitate towards, some of these data mining, predictive modeling kind of, technologies. Right? And that is, again, a cross-industry kind of a thing. But again, I don't see too much of adoption in other sectors apart from the usual suspects. And most companies would have to, have that skill set available, which they currently don't. So that kind of remains an inhibitor for the, I would say, pervasiveness of BI to really happen within an organization. One main message which I really want to give to the CIOs, or rather two, focus on data quality issues. Many times I've seen that the data quality is an afterthought. I've deployed a BI tool, people are using it, now they suddenly are having data quality issues. So data quality should not be an afterthought to BI. If you are starting on a large BI initiative, fix the data quality first. That's one. Second thing I would recommend them is that for the success of a BI initiative, go find an executive sponsor. And this executive sponsor has to necessarily doesn't have to be the CEO or CMO. It basically has to be a business leader who's very data-centric in his approach, a data junkie for the lack of a better word. Because this person who uses it will also become your brand ambassador for what BI can have as an impact within the organization, right? And many a times we go into, I go and meet my clients and they're saying, for them, BI is, shall we buy this product vis-a-vis that product, right? It needs to be understood very, very clearly that BI really does three things. It helps you reduce costs, increase profitability, or helps you enhance service efficiency. There is no third reason for BI to get deployed within an enterprise. So as long as you understand the concept and you know what impact can it have, I don't think CIOs will have any BI failures or BI project failures.